Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
New Ohio legislation aims to ban and criminalize protection for illegal immigrants. Good evening, I'm Lily Bradley. Thanks for joining us. The new bill would define and outlaw sanctuary cities. While the term lacks a formal legal definition, it generally refers to cities that instruct police to avoid inquiries about immigration status and decline immigration officials' requests to detain people awaiting deportation. This comes after both Cincinnati and Columbus have enacted certain immigrant protections in the wake of President Trump's executive orders on immigration. Republican Treasurer and U.S. Senate candidate Josh Mandel is throwing his support behind the proposed bill in the House that bans local governments from declaring themselves sanctuary cities. Mandel says this can prevent acts of terror.
Well, it's been the exact pattern in cities throughout Europe, and what we're trying to do here is keep cities in Ohio and cities in America safe from radical Islamists.
Mandel listed examples of violent crimes perpetrated by undocumented immigrants, but none were acts of terror, and citizenship status wasn't listed as a motivation for any of the crimes. And while Athens is not a sanctuary city, students made demands for it to become one last week during a sit-in at Baker University Center. The sit-in led to the arrest of 70 people last Wednesday. This morning, a group of about 20 people entered pleas with Athens County Municipal Court. Those appearing this morning were charged with criminal trespassing, a fourth-degree misdemeanor. If convicted, the charge holds a maximum sentence of 30 days in jail. A group of fellow protesters who were at the protest on Wednesday sat outside the courtroom today. Sage Foote was one of those arrested at the Baker sit-in.
We will be reprimanded by the Board of Student Conduct. It's like the people who oversee and enforce the guide and the code in the student handbook. Basically, it's going to be like a slap on the wrist. We're not going to be fined.
All of the protesters that entered pleas on Monday asked for an attorney and had their cases scheduled for preliminary hearings on either February 16th or February 20th. Tonight, the Faculty Senate will meet and discuss the arrests at Baker Center protest. The Ohio University Police Department is warning students to be extra careful on campus. This after OUPD sent out 2 campus crime alerts 2 days in a row about reported rapes over the weekend. There have been 4 alerts regarding reported rapes on OU's campus so far this academic year. Campus police are still investigating. David Discutner, OU's interim president, has officially signed the contract with the university. Discutner contract calls for a $350,000 a year salary, which will be prorated for the time he serves as interim president. He could also receive $30,000 in additional compensation if he successfully helps transition OU's new president in the role. Discutner will take over on February 18th and will remain in the position until June 30th. Cat's Den on West Union could soon be expanding. However, the bar and restaurant needs City Council to rezone the section of West Union Street it sits on. Currently, parts of the property are considered a residential area, which limits renovations that can be made. The area needs to become a business district. The bar's owners plan to remove the house at the corner of Union and Depot Street and add a microbrewery there in the future. The owners also intend to expand the first floor and create a 4-bedroom apartment on top. Former Athens County Sheriff Pat Kelly has now appealed his conviction to the Supreme Court of Ohio. Kelly was convicted of 18 criminal charges and sentenced to 7 years in prison in 2015. Kelly is challenging the charges of perjury and engaging in corrupt activity. The Ohio Attorney General's office has 30 days to respond to the appeal, and then the High Court decides if it will hear the case. Ohio's first residential rehabilitation center for psychiatric patients is coming to Athens. The Adam Amanda Mental Health Rehabilitation Center will break ground this spring. The $2 million facility will include 16 beds. It will serve as a step-down facility for patients who have been released from Appalachian Behavioral Health Care. The new center will operate out of a renovated building owned by the local Drug Addiction and Mental Health Service Board.
had a chilly start to our weekend, but those days just started to warm up, and into today we had a great warm day out there today. Good evening and welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Allison Gens. Right now in Athens, it's 59 degrees. We have some partly cloudy skies out there. Winds are east-southeast at 5 miles per hour. Now around the region, temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s, 55 in Newark, 57 in Marietta, 62 in Jackson, a little warmer as we head south, 64 in Ironton. And now looking at our precipcast, we see that there is some rain showers beginning to work their way in. Those are going to be coming in as we head into our next few days. Now overnight tonight, that rain is going to begin working its way in. Temperatures are going to rise with that front that begins to move in, and I'll tell you more about that in my extended forecast a little later in the show.
Hocking College continues to struggle to keep students. The total enrollment for this semester is 2,903. That number is down by exactly 100 students when compared to last year's numbers. Hocking's enrollment has been cut in half since 2010. The college has not increased enrollment from one academic year to another since the fall of 2009. Governor John Kasich says if school districts have fewer students, they can't expect more funding. Kasich's plan calls for cuts to state funding for schools that lost more than 5% of their students in the past 5 years. Both sides still have 5 months to debate the plan, but local school officials are already taking precautions should their school lose funds. Federal Hocking School Treasurer Bruce Steenrod said based off his current data, he believes the Athens district falls under the 5% loss. The Village of Albany and the Alexander Local School District continue to fight over a sewer tap for a new wellness center. And now the village is saying if the district doesn't become part of Albany by July 31st, it will shut off the taps. Newswatch at Noon's Allison Gens spoke with the school district and the village to find out where both stand.
It just puts a damper on everything because the community is excited, people in the school are excited about this system, and then the village comes in and says, oh, well, now you have to annex.
Alexander Local School District currently resides in Alexander Township, and that's where it would like to stay.
Our feelings have been all along that the best interest of Alexander's local schools residents is to remain the way we are.
A lawsuit goes to the appeals court next month over a 2004 resolution passed by Albany City Council setting the terms of sewer connection between the village and district. The district argues the resolution was a contract and it bought enough sewer capacity to cover the wellness center in the agreement.
We paid $95,000 for a tap fee 10 years ago, and we felt we had the right to add this structure.
And while the district says they paid enough to add the wellness center onto the sewer tap without annexation, the Village of Albany mayor says that he's just trying to enforce the law fairly.
It was a resolution, which a resolution, an ordinance in a village or a city is a law. So basically, we're just trying to enforce our laws.
Kirkendall says that the village does not want to cut the district off and hopes it agrees to annexation so the village can grow.
We're trying to build up some economic development so that the kids that do go through K through 12 at Alexander, which they do a good job out there, afterwards maybe some of them can stay around here without having to move away.
He says that if the school district is annexed into Albany, it'll get a discount on its sewer service, police protection, and road maintenance. For Newswatch, I'm Allison Gens.
Both the school and mayor expressed that they're ready to move forward and hope they can reach an agreement soon. Crime victims could have the same rights as those accused of the crimes against them. Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine certified the petition for a Crime Victims' Rights Amendment. The Ohio Crime Victim Justice Center submitted the petitions last week. The proposed amendment still needs to be written, but the Justice Center plans to get it on the November ballot. Senate Democrats are currently taking the floor for 24 hours in an effort to stop the nomination of Betsy DeVos as Secretary of Education. Coming up, we're talking to distinguished professor Dr. Richard Vedder about why he thinks DeVos should be given the position. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Eric II, the host of Hardwood Heroes. You should watch our program Sundays at 11 o'clock p.m. Any important and relevant information you need about Southeast Ohio high school basketball, we have. During the week, keep up with our online content at woub.org/heroes. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hardwood Heroes. You can follow your boy as well at junior_3. As always, I'm Eric II, reminding you to be heroic.
Senate Democrats say they're taking the floor for 24 hours, an effort to stop the nomination of Betsy DeVos as Education Secretary. So far, 2 Republicans say they'll vote against the nomination. At least 1 more Republican must vote no for the nomination to fail. The Democrats are trying to whip up attention, asking citizens to call Republican senators to urge more of them to vote against DeVos. The billionaire wife of the heir to the Amway fortune has no education experience and is a strong advocate for school voucher programs. WOUB's Ann Jacob is here with Dr. Richard Vedder to understand why he believes DeVos should be voted in as the next education secretary.
Thanks, Lily. Dr. Vedder, thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be with you.
Thank you. So thousands of people are even angry that she was even considered for this position. What's your main reason that she does deserve this position and she should be granted this opportunity?
Well, she hasn't been a school teacher, but a lot of people run government agencies that haven't actually worked in the area that is involved directly. She has been passionate about education issues over the years, as an advocate for choice in education, for vouchers, for charter schools and things like that. And I think that point of view is important and should be represented as well.
Absolutely. So I agree that flexibility does work, but however, in rural communities and like Athens, it's a struggle to even keep one elementary school open or even one high school open. How is having multiple possibilities better for people here in Athens?
I'm not sure that we can have more opportunities in Athens. It may be our population base is not large enough to support that, but at least the opportunity, the possibility of that would be welcoming. And I think giving a little competition to the public schools can only work to make education better for all, including the students involved.
Absolutely. But if there is not enough money to support this, what kind of things does DeVos need to be doing in her position, if she gets it, to bring good things here to rural communities like Athens?
Well, finances are always an issue, but they're going to be an issue. Whoever is the Secretary of Education, whether it's DeVos or someone else, whether we have public schools or private schools, I think giving people some choice in the matter tends to make education more efficient, meets the needs of students, and ultimately lowers costs somewhat. The unions are upset about this, the teacher unions, and they're the groups that are leading the opposition to Mrs. DeVos, but they represent a very small segment of the population.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vedder. And Betsy DeVos's final vote for the nomination is scheduled for tomorrow. Lily, back to you.
President Trump says Americans may have to wait until next year for his health care plan. He said in a Fox News interview that it could take until 2018 to roll out his proposal to replace Obamacare. But Trump also told Bill O'Reilly that some elements of his plan could be in place this year. That's still a slower time frame for replacing Obamacare than Trump and other Republicans had promised. The president also said that Americans can expect to see some tax cuts this year. On Wall Street today, stocks fell across the board following controversial policy announcements from the White House. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. And after the break, tips for kicking your habits. That story's still ahead.
Stormy days are ahead, as well as a cool down. I'll tell you about that in my extended forecast next on Newswatch.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
Welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Allison Gens. Right now in Athens, it's 59 degrees with partly cloudy skies out there. Our winds are east-southeast at 6 miles per hour. Now looking around our region, temperatures are in the upper 50s to low 60s, 60 in Ironton, 57 in Marietta, 57 as well in Cambridge, 59 in New Martinsville. Our almanac today showing how much warmer we were above our average temperature. 30 degrees difference between our high and our low temperature, almost nearing our record low set back in 1986. Now, looking at our precipcast for tonight, these warm temperatures are going to bring us in some rain here. So you see this system that's beginning to work its way through into our evening hours. That's going to continue to push its way in through tomorrow, and then we start to see that rain continue to linger into Wednesday. So that cold front that's pushing its way through is going to bring us some rain for the next few days. So make sure you have that raincoat, you have that umbrella as you head out, because it is going to be a lot of very rainy days the next few days. Now overnight tonight, temperatures dropping into the mid 40s, 46 in New Martinsville, 47 in Marietta, 51 in Ripley, 48 here in Athens. Are warming up though. Tomorrow we're seeing temperatures back again into the 60s, which is very unusual because it is only February, but we're seeing it's feeling a little bit more like spring out there. 60 in Athens, 62 in Marietta, and 61 in New Martinsville. Now tonight, dropping to 48 degrees, like I said, with evening rain showers and some thunderstorms possibly developing. Now tomorrow at the bus stop, 55 degrees with those rain showers. So make sure your kids have their rain boots and their rain jackets as they head off to the bus stop, and they'll still need it by their evening. And then looking at your extended forecast, temperatures dropping for Wednesday and into Thursday, but then warming up again for the weekend.
There are millions of smokers around the world, and a huge percentage of them are trying to quit at any given time. Unfortunately, many won't be successful. Kim Hutchinson has tips for kicking that habit in today's Health Minute.
At the beginning of every year, people make resolutions to improve their lives. From exercising more to eating out less, the new year brings out the urge to better ourselves. One of the most popular resolutions people make is to quit smoking. There are more than 1 billion smokers worldwide, and every year many try to kick the habit. But as most find, it's not that easy. Data released by the Royal Society of Public Health in the UK shows that 3 in 5 people who resolved to quit smoking at New Year's picked it back up by the end of January. That, experts say, is because of the strong chemical addiction smokers must overcome. But don't be discouraged. You can ditch those cigarettes once and for all. First, don't give up if you slip up. It will happen. Second, start with setting smaller, more realistic goals, like using nicotine replacements, a patch or gum, in the beginning. Achieving small steps will make lifestyle changes easier to maintain. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutchinson.
Tobacco use is the leading cause of preventable illness and death in the United States.
Coming up in sports, a full Ohio basketball weekend recap. I'll tell you all the records broken during Super Bowl 51 last night and how Fox struggled to keep up. And a story about the Eastern boys basketball team, who is family both on and off the court. That's next on Newswatch. Stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Eric II, the host of Hardwood Heroes. You should watch our program Sundays at 11 o'clock p.m. Any important and relevant information you need about Southeast Ohio high school basketball, we have. During the week, keep up with our online content at woub.org/heroes. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hardwood Heroes. You can follow your boy as well at junior_3. As always, I'm Eric II, reminding you to be heroic.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Welcome back, I'm Megan Vanslow. Last night's Super Bowl story changed rapidly during the second half Patriots comeback, breaking a number of NFL championship records. New England set the record for largest deficit overcome, most championship games won by a quarterback or coach, most first downs in a Super Bowl, most completions in a game, and most passing yards in a game. Another record set last night was, of course, the first Super Bowl to be forced to overtime. But Fox was not as prepared as they could have been. When regulation ended with a tied score, Fox Sports NFL tweeted, to be totally transparent, we prepped a lot of content for this game, but didn't have anything created for an overtime game. The tweet has since been deleted, but while it was the first Super Bowl to go to overtime, there have been at least 592 overtime NFL games since the rule was adopted in 1974, according to NFL statistics. And the Ohio men's basketball team had a record-setting weekend of their own with a career-high point performance from Jerron Simmons powered Ohio in their 85-70 win over Akron Saturday. The Bobcats handed the Zips their first conference loss of the season. Simmons dropped 38 points on the night, shooting 100% from beyond the arc. He's quickly becoming Ohio's go-to guy as he recorded 170 points in the first 15 games, but 136 in the last 6 alone. Following the men, the Ohio women found success when they took the court and defeated Toledo 61-55. A crucial 18-2 Ohio run at the end of the first half was the turning point of the game. Yamani Jenkins led Ohio in scoring, but Hannah Bosinger has really been stepping it up for the Bobcats. She recorded her 4th consecutive double-digit scoring game with 11 on Saturday. And onto the high school court. When we talk about the Eastern boys, you probably think of Jet Facemeyer. However, there are 2 other Facemeyers in the Eastern basketball picture. Molly Kennedy of Hardwood Heroes has the details.
Not only are Sharp, Jet, and Blaze great ball players, they are best friends as well. And basketball is just one more thing the family loves to do together.
Us being related, I mean, we've always played basketball together at home.
The chemistry's a lot better, and it's just, I know where he is at all times. I talk to him about the game.
I hear him coaching during the game.
I yell more than probably anybody else during the games.
Unfortunately, Blaze is out with a torn meniscus, but they're still able to enjoy themselves and make the best of what time they have left on the court.
It's just not fun seeing my brother and cousin out there playing without me.
I've looked forward to playing with these two for years. I knew this was going to be a good year.
There's times on the court where I'm just thinking, well, what could he do to make our team better?
But when it's time to get serious, the guys know how to improve not only themselves, but the whole team. With Eastern losing Jet to graduation this year, Sharp and Blaze know that they have some big shoes to fill.
I want to win more ball games. Yeah, a lot. I feel like I want a winning record after this year.
Thanks, Molly. To put into perspective how big the shoes these boys have to fill are, Jet reached his 1,000th career point in the middle of the season and averages roughly 20 points a game. And the nation's number 3 Ohio club hockey team had a very eventful weekend. They outscored the University of Pittsburgh 17-4 through the series. Friday night's matchup saw a shutout 9-0 final score, which led to a physical Saturday game that totaled 81 penalty minutes and 12 ejected players. I'm Megan Vanslow, and that's it for sports. Over to you, Allison.
Thanks, Megan. Now overnight tonight, 48 degrees as our low temperature with evening rain showers working their way through and some thunderstorms developing as we head into our early morning hours. Now tomorrow, warming up, another warm day, 66 degrees, but those rain showers will persist throughout the day and we might see some scattered thunderstorms across the region. Now, looking at our extended forecast, 60 for Tuesday, but temperatures dropping by Wednesday. And then look at that for Thursday, 29 degrees. So we go almost more than 30-degree drop in difference by Thursday, and that chance of rain persists into Thursday, and then it warms up again for our weekend on Saturday and Sunday. 52 degrees on Saturday, 59 on Sunday, and then by Monday, 43 degrees. We have mostly sunny skies, so we are going to have that rain for the next few days. You'll need your raincoat when you head out, but it is going to warm up once again as we head into our weekend and into next week. Lily?
Thanks, Allison. That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Lily Bradley. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.